Welcome to the Choices Report Explained, Episode 2, focused on frequency. This is one of the most important maps in the Choices Report, and it is our route network color-coded by frequency. So let's look at the legend for a second. You'll see here that in red, we have our routes that arrive every 15 minutes or less, and as you go down the colors, purple, every 16 to 24, blue, 25 to 30, the lightest teal, 31 to 60 minutes. So you'll notice that we don't have a lot of red lines. In fact, they're all concentrated in downtown and Miami Beach. In the south, actually, we don't have any red lines. Just to point out what those lines are for a second, you've got the L, you got the S, you got the 120, you got the 7, you got the 1221 combining for some frequency up there. You might also notice some trolleys. So for example, the North for Miami Beach, Coral Gables. The reason these red lines are so important is that these represent extremely useful transit services. And the reason that we measure this on a weekday basis, so these routes are weekdays at noon, is because transit should be way more useful than just getting you to and from work. Transit should allow you a degree of freedom in the way that you live your life and ideally allow you to live it without a car. And that's why these red lines are really important, because these red lines, which are buses that arrive every 15 minutes throughout the day, are dependable enough whereby you can use them in the morning to get to work, but you can also use them on the weekends to get to an appointment, whatever you need to do. So another way to visualize the way that transit can provide that freedom is in an isochrone. So an isochrone is this blob that you see right here. Just to explain a bit about what's going on. In this smallest blob here, that's how far you can get walking and taking transit in 30 minutes. The bigger blob here, that's 45, and the biggest blob, that's 60 minutes. Now, this isochrone happens to be from Little Havana. You can tell that the isochrone here has quite a peculiar shape, and the reason that is because it's demonstrating the power of connection, the power of viable connection. So you see this tendril up here, this tendril up here, these tendrils that you're creating up here, down here, down here, down here. That's because you can connect between various services for transit's reach to get even further as opposed to just taking one bus line. And that's why frequent routes are more important, because frequent routes can be combined to get even further as opposed to just relying on one-seat rides to get everywhere. You can find a lot more information about this in the Choices Report. You can also find a lot more isochrones on our website and on Twitter. Thank you for joining us for the Choices Report Explained. As always, you can download the Choices Report at www.betterbus.miami.